Hello artists! Today we're going to be learning how to make a paper lion face. If you have construction paper, you can use tan construction paper and brown construction paper to create your paper lion. If you do not, I'm going to teach you how to make your parts using white paper. I have my parts that I have already drawn out or printed out on my computer, and they are an oval and a circle. But if you do not have access to these templates, I'm going to teach you how to make these parts on your own. You will also need glue today, a pencil or a black crayon, and scissors. So to begin, we are going to pretend we don't even have these, and I'm going to start with two just plain white pieces of paper. The first part we are going to need to create is our lion's mane. Our lion's mane needs to be the biggest part. So on my first piece of paper, I'm going to use my crayon and I'm going to make a big circle, as big of a circle as I can. I want it to go from this end of my paper all the way over to the other end of the paper. I want it to be very, very large. If it's not a perfect circle, it's okay. It just needs to be a very large circle shape. We also want a smaller circle in the center. This is going to be a part of our mane that we do not cut. This is the no cutting allowed area. So now I have my great big lion mane. I need to make a lion face. So on my second piece of paper, I'm going to create my lion face. And my lion face needs to be smaller than the mane. It needs to be able to fit on the mane, and it needs to be an oval shape. So on my second piece of paper, I'm going to make an oval that is smaller than my big circle. Still pretty big though. You don't want a teeny tiny shrunken face. You want a decent sized lion face. Our lion also needs ears, so let's give it an ear on the right and an ear on the left. And our lion needs a face. I'm going to start by giving my lion a nose. So a horizontal line for my lion nose. And I'm going to turn it into a triangle. I'm going to color it in. Our lion also needs a mouth. And the lion needs two eyes. So I'm going to make a curve. It's a rainbow line on the right and a rainbow line on the left. And now a line on the bottom half. And another line on the left-hand side. I'm going to switch to my colors now. I'm going to keep my black crayon. I'm not done with my eyes yet, but I want to do my color part first. So I'm choosing orange for my eye, but you can use any color you want. And on the inside of my lion's eyes, I'm going to draw a U shape in both eyes. Now I'm going to color that U shape in. So now I have orange eyes. I'm going to switch back to my black. And I'm going to give my lion pupils by making a smaller letter U right on top of my color. And then I'm going to color that smaller letter U in black. I'm also going to color the rest of my eye. Lion's eyes are kind of dark, So I'm going to color around and make my lion's eyes nice and dark around my color. Working with my black again. Now I have my lion face. Now that I have my parts, I need to add my color. If you want your lion to look realistic, you'll probably want to find an apricot, a peach, a tan. One of these colors would be really, really good for your lion's fur. However, you're the artist, you can also be creative and make it a colorful lion. And I'm also using a brown for my lion's mane. So I'm going to go with my peach and brown, but you could use any color you want for yours, any color that you have. So I'm starting with my peach, and I'm going to color in my lion's ears and my lion's face. I have now finished coloring my lion's face and my lion's mane. I was more careful when I was coloring my lion's face because I wanted to keep it nice and neat. When I was coloring the mane, I did go outside of the lines a little bit, and that's okay because when we're doing our cutting, I'm going to cut all this messy part off. So now I'm ready to move on to my scissors. A reminder, when you're using your scissors, your thumb goes in the little hole and your other fingers go in the big hole. So you hold it like this if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, thumb still goes in the little hole, fingers go in the big hole, you hold it like that. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to keep my scissor in my left hand. And I'm going to start by cutting out my lion's face first. So I want to cut around the lion's face neatly. And when I get to the ears, I want to be careful. I don't want to cut them off. So when I get to the ears, I'm going to stop, turn my scissors, and go around the ears. If you accidentally cut your ears off, it's okay. You can always glue them back on later, but try your best to go around your lion's head without cutting your ears off. So now my lion's face is going to end up going over that no-cut circle. But before I can do that, I need to cut out my lion's mane. The first step to it is to cut around the outside circle of the lion's mane. So now I've cut around my lion's mane all the way around. If I stuck my face on like this, it would look like a lion, but I don't think it's quite complete yet. I want to add a little texture to my lion's mane. I want it to look like it's hair, like it's furry, like it's individual pieces. So to do that, I'm going to cut what's called fringe into my mane circle. I'm going to start at the outside of my circle, and I'm going to cut all the way to the center circle, but when I get there, I'm going to stop. I am not cutting into that center circle. I don't want to cut it apart into little pieces. So that's my first cut. I want to make many cuts like this, going all the way around the circle. So take your time. Try to keep them close together. The more close they are, the thinner your little cuts are, the fluffier your lion's mane will look, the more full it will look. You could make wider cuts, but your lion just won't look like it has as much hair. I've finished cutting all the way around. I'm going to set my scissors to the side. Now I'm ready to glue my lion's face onto my mane. If you're using liquid glue, use dot, dot, not a lot. I'm using a glue stick today, so I'm going to unstamp my cap. When you're using a glue stick, you only want to roll it up just a little bit. You don't want your glue getting all over the place and getting everywhere. And when you're done putting it in your center circle, wind it back down just a little bit and put your cap back on. Take your lion's face, stick it over the glue, and hold it down. I'm pushing with my hand a little bit. I want to make sure it sticks really, really well. And my lion's face is now stuck to my mane. I have one last step to do, and that's to make my hair look like it's fluffy. So I'm going to keep my face flat on the table, and I'm gently going to squish and fluff up my hair. I'm crinkling it, going all the way around my lion. I'm making my mane look like it has some texture. It's not just perfectly flat. Be gentle though, don't rip it. And there you have it, artists. We have just created a paper lion face with cut paper and texture on its mane.